Hey, scrappy people, it's Traci Reed here today, coming at you with a single page layout in my 2021 album, and I am scrapbooking my one little word for this year. And I don't normally pick a one little word because I find them to be mostly just ceremonial in my life. I don't do anything with them and really don't think about them beyond, the first month of the year, so I don't normally choose them. However, I had rebirth in my head, like screaming at me, starting in November of 2020. And I just felt like I needed to get it down on paper. So I found this image on Instagram, and I will link the original author of the image in the comments below. But it was perfectly describing how I was feeling about the word rebirth. I had said multiple times that I felt like 2020 was a sort of cocooning for me and for a lot of the world. We all went to our own little homes and just sort of spent the year inside. So I found that image, and then I had my word written by Allie according to Allie on Instagram. She offers them through her Etsy store, and they come with little definitions. And I layered that handwritten word over the image and created my own new little collaged image out of both. And I'm scrapbooking that in my album. So you can see I just stamped one little word 2021. The outline letters are from Kelly Stamps. The 2021 is from Coco Daisy. And I'm actually going through my stash for this layout. Surprise, surprise. And I am pulling out papers that sort of match the vibe of this sort of brown theme I'm going for. I wanted brown and black and sort of that creamy color because I don't want too much brown. I'm not a big brown person when it comes to scrapbooking. I don't like the heritage, old-fashioned, vintage feel. So I wanted to sort of offset the brown in the image with a more modern feel. So I have that black and white stripe plus this lacy sort of gray taupe paper. And then I'm going to use the back of that paper, which is that black handwritten word thing. I'm going to make a tag out of that. So I just sort of created a pocket with the torn paper, and now I'm going to create a tag to put that photo on. Now I want the tag with one little word on it to be able to be taken out of the pocket because I'm going to write my journaling on the back of it. But this one, while I want it to look like a tag, I don't necessarily want it to be able to come out of the pocket because I'm not putting anything on the bottom of it, and I'm also not putting anything on the back of it. So it's going to look like a tag, but I am going to glue it down to the pocket so that it doesn't move. I'm just using the tag to cut matching corners off of this tag, and then I'm going to add my hole. Perfect. And I don't really want you to be able to read or focus on the words in the background of this tag either, so I'm going to move this photo around a little bit. I'm going to move it just a little bit higher so that the words are mainly decorative and you can't really read them. You can, but it doesn't look like you're supposed to very much. And it actually says you were meant to, or were meant to, so it kind of works with the theme anyway. Gotta make sure I add in my hole punches every time. Okay, so now this is the basic layout. I'm feeling like I definitely need to add a lot to it. Obviously, this is just to the point where I've built it now, and I'm going through my stash and pulling out things. Just, I'm stash diving. So I have these stickers, these old, I guess epoxy maybe stickers from crepe paper that I'm going to use because they have those nice black vines in there. And then I have these fun rose gold letter stickers, and I do lose some footage here, which it wasn't really that big of a deal, just the clustering footage. I don't know, my camera kept recording but it didn't actually show up. It was really weird. Anyway, so I've just created a little cluster with those stickers and a little tag from my stash and the letters. I was thinking about adding that clip there, but it didn't really add anything but bulk to the page. So I decided to go against it. So I'm looking at this going, I really like it, but it just doesn't feel done. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to, I have a box full of old books that I was actually going to get rid of because I wasn't doing anything with it. So I went outside because it was out on my porch ready to go into the garbage, and went outside and pulled out an old book page to sort of collage on to this page. And so what's going on though is that I've already, glued everything down, right? Because that's how I work. I always glue everything down and then have to rip it back up. So I'm kind of deciding where I want it to go. So I'm going to add a little piece underneath that tag to sort of extend that cluster out a little bit so that it has a little bit more heft, a little bit more bulk on the bottom of that pocket. I just felt like it felt like it ended too soon, too far to the left. So I'm going to add it so that it extends a little bit more to the right and adds a little bit of texture and depth. I could have like inked up the edges and made it look really vintagey, but again, like I said, vintage really isn't my vibe, so I didn't want to make it look older than it had to, right? I didn't want it to look like, I don't know, I guess I just didn't want it to look vintage. So I left it nice and clean, and I'm just going to go with the whole torn motif to match the pocket. I'm going to put this underneath the tag, which is glued down fairly well. And so it's a struggle, but it gets on there nicely eventually. And then once I get it down, I'm going to just tear off the edge to make it look nice and give it that nice torn look. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side with just a smaller piece because I don't want it to span the whole thing. I decided it didn't look quite the way that I liked it, with it just like edging both sides of that tag was too much. So I'm going to tear some of it off. There we go. All right, so now I am just about done here. I think I'm going to add, I decide I'm going to add some more of that torn paper to the back of the tag where I'm going to journal. And also I decided that I did not love that blank space up there. It was bothering me. It looked off balance. So I'm going to take another half wreath and I'm going to put it up here at the top. And that gives it a little bit of like a repetitive effect, gives it a little bit more balance at the top. I decided not to add this one in even though I was looking at it because it was just definitely too much. Okay, so now I'm going to add some torn paper to the back of this tag, and I'm going to add my journaling off camera, and I'm going to call it good. So I'm just going to add a little piece here and there. So if you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you. If you don't already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm at Traci M. Reed. I would love to see you over there as well. Let me know in the comment section below what your word is for this year, and I will see you next time. All right, thank you.